True.
Listen up now.
Professor. Remember Inspector Gadget?
Yeah, I just let my kids watch it.
Did you?
Yeah.
The movie or the cartoon?
No, the cartoon.
The
Now,
Dr.
of course,
Claw.
yeah, of course. Now my son. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Go
get you now.
Yeah. Over and over and over again. Can we watch Inspector Gadget?
Dudes to Dads is a podcast to help men understand and navigate the transition of being a single dude into a family man. How do we make sense of it all? Well, we probably won't be able to, but let's go ahead and have some fun trying.
Alrighty then. Can you hear me over this? I love that music. You can just keep it going. Let's give it a couple more seconds.
Trying out this new software here, see if it can.
It works.
Yeah, it seems to work.
I
That's
love
pretty
that
cool.
groove though. I
Cool.
said we should try to do maybe like a techno version of it, like a rap version,
Right.
Something because it's funk.
Dubstep, you said earlier.
Yeah, dubstep. Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. I don't know what that would sound like. But
Yeah, well, I might give it a shot, actually.
I'm old, so I don't know. What that, but welcome. This is the Dudes to Dads podcast.
That's right.
I am Jason Kreidman,
And I'm Alan Bush.
and what's going on, Alan? It
Things
feels
are good.
It feels so long. It's been a whole week.
It's been a week, yeah, and I think things are good. It's been really hot here lately.
It is
and
hot.
muggy.
We are in California,
We
San
are, yeah.
Diego,
Yeah.
northern San Diego specifically, and it has been quite warm.
And the more the humidity, because I'm used to this type of warmth more so from Massachusetts or like
Right.
Florida. Or
And you know
something.
what? I think our guests or the listeners really probably want to hear us talk about the weather more.
I'm pretty sure they do.
We should just have a whole
You
episode
want to hear us
about the
complain
weather.
about the weather?
I know everybody out there is going, "Oh, you guys have it so rough."
I know. It's like, it's sunny 90% of the time.
Yeah. So speaking of that, this past weekend I was camping.
Right.
And luckily the weather was nice to us. It wasn't. It's
brutal.
about 2.5 hours north of here.
Yeah.
I think I had mentioned or told you before. I went with my son. This time I went with my daughter in a daughters
cool.
group.
Yeah.
And so it's dads and daughters.
Cool.
It's through the YMCA, our local YMCA. It's called Adventure Princesses.
Yeah.
AKA Indian Princesses, but now it's changed.
Okay.
Politically correct.
Right.
And I gotta say, I mean, give a shout out to the YMCA
Yeah.
and this organization, and also my tribe.
YMCA.org, I think it's their
Well,
website.
it is. The tribe that I'm in was just awesome. Great group of people.
Cool.
It's girls are 5 to about 10
Yeah.
years old. There's a couple that might be a little older because they've been in it for a while.
Yeah.
And you go camping for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
And my
yeah.
daughter loved it. This was her first time. I mean, she's only 5. And the older girls like really help out the younger girls. And I just like the mission and the purpose of it.
Yeah.
And this is what's really interesting. So, and I did not tie this together on purpose. I promise you. Sometimes I do.
Right.
So there's these, they call them the 6 aims. And I think what they'll try to do is, it's like the, commandments, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're trying to, these are something that you have to learn and you sort of obey and such. And so I was reading them because we were learning them over the weekend. And I'm like, this is, as I'm doing this today and preparing for the show,
Yeah.
this is exactly what the topic of today's show is about. So
Perfectly.
I don't know how I did it.
Synced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just happened to work. Because, I had this concept of the 7 C's.
Yeah.
We had talked about this before. And I did the first one, which was commitment. And I talked about how you have to commit and do that. Well, the second one is caring. That's the second C. And
Yeah.
these 6 aims are all about caring.
Oh, awesome.
It was just how it worked out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I wanted to go over them. So the first one was to be clean in body and pure in heart.
Uh-huh.
To be pals forever with my dad. That one's awesome. To love the sacred circle of my family. To listen while others speak. To love my neighbor as myself. And to seek and preserve the beauty of the Great Spirit's work in forest, field, and stream.
Cool.
So that is just, those are really, really cool.
Yeah.
And those are all about caring. It's about caring for yourself, your family, and those around you, and nature.
Right.
It's like, that's what this is about.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so that, like I said, the topic for today is caring. The other thing I want to mention too, we now have an email sign up on the website. We did a little bit of reorganization design
Cool.
stuff
Yeah.
on the actual podcast page, but you can do it anywhere on any page.
Right.
Website's still coming along.
Yeah, yeah, but
Shoemakers, kids go shoeless.
Well, it's come a long way since I've known you.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, that
it's
thing
been
is-
20 years.
Yeah.
So you would think that now something can actually happen. And considering I do internet marketing for a
Yeah,
living,
yeah.
I should be a little bit farther ahead. But anyways,
That's
you can
hilarious.
sign up an email. You can get alerts and updates. So when we get a new episode, when there's something happening, something's changing, whatever,
Yeah.
you want to keep in touch with Dudes to Dads, you sign up for that email newsletter.
Cool.
I wouldn't
Very
call it a
cool.
newsletter. It's really like alerts or updates.
If you want to be updated when an episode comes out. type of
all
thing.
that stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, anything that happens.
It gets posted or whatever. Yeah, great.
And also, if you have an email or you want to send us something, a question, we can read it on the air. It's podcast@dudestodads.com.
Right.
And also on Facebook, Dudes to Dads.
Twitter.
Twitter, @Dudes2Dads. And I think we might be doing some other things soon. Maybe we won't announce it
in
yet.
the near future, yeah.
But we're going to be doing some other cool things. Maybe
Yeah.
some live streaming, maybe
That'd be
some
great.
video, whatever. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. If you're interested in participating, there may be an opportunity.
Yep. Email us.
Yes.
podcast@dudestodads.com.
Right on.
So, as I had mentioned, the topic for today is caring.
Right.
So, what does this mean? Well, it's actually, when you first think about caring in your children, it seems pretty obvious. I mean,
Right.
like what parent doesn't care for their child?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple that leave them.
Yeah, yeah.
And leave them meaning
Or care more about themselves than
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly
Their kid.
people that quote leave their children because they want their children to have a better life or something like that. But I'm talking about somebody who is abandoned.
But that's
and-
still caring.
Yeah, no,
You know,
totally.
at some
I'm
level.
talking more for like abandonment or something.
Right,
And
right.
I don't know the rates of that, but
Yeah.
but I think all parents have love for their children.
Sure.
I think what the difference is that I don't think we often care consciously
Right.
as we probably could, or as conscious as we probably could. And so I don't think people may understand how much caring impacts the child's life.
Right.
Like, it's and I'll get into the concept of what I'm meaning by this. And what this is I came up, like I said, with these 7 C's, and this C about caring. All of these C's are essential to creating a wonderful relationship with your kids.
Okay.
And so the first one was commitment. And that was remember when we talked about it, where it's just, deciding to commit to active parenting. And so that's, learning new things, how to be better at whatever. This one is about caring and actively caring. And so that's something that I think we all want and think that we do it,
Right.
but I don't think we all do it all the time.
Yeah.
So a couple different things. So what I want to find out for you,
Yeah.
how would you define, if somebody was to ask you, it's like, how would you define caring as it relates to parenting?
That's a really good question. I don't know if I've thought about it in that context before. Like, is it putting the needs of the child kind of priority? I guess
Could be.
That
I mean,
might be. That's the best.
I
way
think there's a lot of
about it.
definitions. There's not a
Priority.
right or wrong. So
Yeah. No, I agree.
This
I-
isn't
I-
a debate.
Oh man, I got the gavel noise somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I would define it.
Okay.
Putting the needs of the child above my own, almost in some context.
Sure.
But it's really one of those, like, it's hard to make a textbook definition of that.
Yeah,
Like,
well-
define love. It's like
Yeah, there is a definition of the word caring,
Sure.
of course, but so like one of the things is displaying kindness and concern for another, or let's say a concern for the child.
Right.
So it's an adjective in that sense. It's like, let's say the man Jim, Jim is caring towards his daughter.
right.
So that's an adjective. It's describing how Jim is towards his daughter.
yeah.
Another way is the work or practice of looking after those unable to care for themselves. Mm-hmm. So that could be something where it's not necessarily an adjective, it's more of a verb.
Yeah.
So Jim is caring for his daughter while she's recovering from surgery, something like that, where you're taking care of somebody who can't really take care
Right.
of themselves.
Sure.
And that's considered caring too.
Gotcha.
So the other element that it's not in the dictionary, which I'm adding to it, is love and affection.
Yeah.
I feel like love and affection are a huge element of caring.
I would.
It's
agree.
not part of the definition, the official definition per se.
Yeah.
But to me, caring is all about your heart.
Sure.
Okay, And, one of the things I think that we talked about, so we interviewed Susie Walton last week.
Yeah.
By the way,
Which is
if you
great.
haven't checked out that podcast.
Yeah, episode
what episode?
27.
27.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, not us awesome. She's awesome.
We're awesome, too.
She helped elevate us to be
to
awesome.
a new level of awesomeness.
Yeah, I mean, she just the information that she has and
Yeah.
what she's taught me and so many thousands and thousands of people is just
Yeah.
incredible.
She was great.
So I said, but the number one thing that I learned from parenting classes and reading and all of this is about parenting from the heart rather than the head.
Right.
And to me, that's what caring is about.
Mm-hmm.
It's actively parenting from the heart and not your head. And so I think when you parent from the heart, it's easier on yourself. It's very hard to remember and it's very hard to think about.
Consciously, yeah.
As I say, think about rather than feel.
Right.
Because I think a lot rather than feel.
Gotcha,
That's my issue.
You're right.
And I think it's many men. I mean, we think much more than we feel, and women probably have more of a tendency to feel versus think.
Right.
It's stereotypes. But
Sure. No, but
they
they're
work.
they're bedded in reality.
So I think it's easier for the child, and it's easier on you when you parent from the heart, and that's I think it makes you more calm, it makes you more present, and I think you end up being a little bit. Or not a little bit. You make a lot more effective in what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So as an example of that, it would be, when you're in a situation where, let's say the child is whining, and our typical response is like, hey, just be quiet, stop it. But, that's parenting from the head versus, hey, what's going on? Is something bothering you? Is something okay? Is there something that you need?
Yeah.
Why
are you being so noisy?
Yeah. But that you're asking a question, you're trying to understand it. That's parenting from the heart, and you can see that all over the place. I mean, I like that, parenting from the heart. I like that. .com.
Yeah. Let's look it up.
Is that Twitter handle open? I don't have enough. I don't have enough Twitter handles and websites that I'm not, all these $1 million ideas that come. I've got another one too, by the way, we have to discuss.
Okay.
So, I think it just makes it more effective when you can do that. And so this idea of caring has just been really, really, it's resonating a lot, and it's really important.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that caring is unconditional.
Right.
So like you said, taking care of somebody else, you're not taking care of them because you're going to get paid for it.
Right.
You're not taking care of them because you're going to get a reward.
Right.
Caring for somebody is very unconditional. We're not expecting, anything back in return. And I think that's an important part of the definition as well.
Sure, yeah.
So how do we show people that we care? Or, how do we show our kids that we care? And that's, I think that's an important thing. There's tons. I was looking online. There's like tons of lists and things and whatever. But for me, I felt like there was three major ones. Major things.
You whittled this down to
from hundreds and thousands to three. I'm very, very talented. It's actually just what resonates with me the most, I think, sort of these overarching concepts.
Right.
The first one is asking them questions and showing interest in what they're doing. And that means a lot of things. I mean, that's you see parents it's on the playground, whatever we talked about, like when they're sitting there texting, while their kid is playing and asking them a question and doing something, and it's that engagement.
Yeah.
Engagement.
Engagement.
I make up words.
It's
all
an
the
agent
time.
that's engaged. An engagement.
Is that available? .com? Yeah. I gotta stop.
We have to be engagents for our children.
Yeah, but asking them those questions, it's not even just how are you doing, but hey, interested in how does this work? Like when they did something at school, it's like, oh wait, how did you do that?
Yeah.
It's not did you win? Did you get the best score? It's like tell me how you did it.
Yeah.
And it's really interest in what it is they're doing. And let's say a lot of parents as the kids are getting older too, and especially nowadays they always just want to be on those games.
Right.
I'm hearing that all the time with older kids and stuff. They want to play games. Well, sit down and play a game with your kid.
Yeah.
Play the Xbox or whatever. Learn it.
Yeah.
Ask them questions about it. It's
kids light up when you. I've done that with kids or like preteens or whatever, and I'm like, hey, I'll play your game, whatever this video game thing is, and I'm like, oh, how do I play?
Right.
And I'm messing up, and then no, you got to do this, and they're showing me how to do it, and then I finally get a victory out of it, and they're like, get a kick out of it.
I mean, I guess most of us grew up with some sort of
yeah,
activity.
I mean, even video games, even our
Right.
old age.
Yeah.
we had video games.
and I'm not
as
an
kids.
expert at any of these. I mean, the new stuff's crazy, but
Yeah,
I mean, I can see that where it's like if you want to engage, you've got to get into their stuff.
yeah,
They don't want to get into your stuff. You've got to get into theirs.
Yeah.
So I think that's one way of really showing them that you care.
fill out my tax form, son.
Yeah. Totally. Oh, jeez. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Another one is watching over them and protecting them.
yeah,
So, and to me, I mean, there's so many examples of that, but that's I think of just immediate what happened to me like this week, like holding their hand when they go across the street.
yeah,
Helping them physically in some manner when they're younger.
Yeah.
To do something, or being there when they fall.
Yeah.
Or when they fail.
or if they can't do something, like they can't open something, for example.
Sure.
Then I've had that with my friend's kids when she was a little younger. Oh, can you just ask
Right.
Uncle Ellen? And I
Yeah.
just became her uncle all of a sudden.
that's
And it
awesome.
made me feel
Yeah.
good. I'm like, oh yeah, of course I'll help you out.
Of course. Yeah. No, and the kid then feels like you care.
Yeah.
And that's the point of it. So
Exactly.
And that's being present. I said it's like teaching them right from wrong. It's all of those things of just watching over, protecting them, helping them do things, and essentially, looking out for them because they may not be able to look out for themselves, and or you're teaching them how to look out for themselves.
Right, yeah.
You don't want to, I think there's probably a fine line with this one of, because you don't want to be the helicopter parent.
Yeah, just hovering over them and making sure
Right.
they're put bubble wrap around them.
Right.
Type of
I mean, I
thing.
wish my kids were in a bubble sometimes.
Sure.
Because I don't want them getting hurt. Of
course not.
I don't want them to experience the world. That's kidding on that one. But, the world is so evil. I don't
Yeah.
want them touching it. No, but it's just making sure that they're okay, and you constantly are worrying for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. Even so, I went camping this weekend.
Right.
My daughter. One of the things they did was they had snow cones.
Yeah.
So they have all these different campsites, and we were sitting around kind of, the whole group, and the snow cones were being given out at a different campsite, like
Right.
down the road. It's,
Yeah.
it's not, I don't know how far.
Yeah.
My daughter's 5.
Yeah.
It's not like yeah, go for it, But there was a couple of girls,
Yeah.
a couple older ones, and I was like, you know what? And she goes, no, Dad, I'm fine. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I was a little worried.
Sure.
It's not that I didn't trust the other people or whatever.
No,
but it's just,
but
it's letting them out of your sight.
okay.
Yeah, like you're camping. It's a little
Yeah.
bit far.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
And but that was so. There's a point where you start, that protection. You got to sort of let them go.
Yeah.
And I think the key for me was when she said, "Dad, I'm okay."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's versus me. No, you're not okay. I need to watch you. I mean, especially when a child, versus like, hey, just go.
Right.
And the child's like, no, I don't want to go. Like, no, you need to learn. I mean, if the child doesn't want you to.
Or in that creepy cavern.
Yeah. I mean, she even, even going to the restroom, you don't think about that. Like going to the restroom by
yeah.
themselves or.
Well,
things
that's the
like
thing.
that.
I see parents with their kids, in the bathrooms, and I sometimes don't think about it. And it's like opposite sex,
Yeah.
opposite
Right.
gender in the bathroom, but they have to be. That's like I can't go in the women's room, so I got to bring my daughter in here.
Well, so there's a certain point too. I mean, and the ages vary, where they can do it themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they can wipe themselves and
Sure,
do whatever.
sure.
The problem is even after that, sometimes they don't. They want you still around, because they're concerned.
Well,
or,
yeah, and there's like people in there they don't know.
well, especially if there's people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Public restroom.
Yeah, public restroom. I don't want.
Yeah.
I typically would go in there.
Yeah.
Still at this age.
Yeah.
My son's fine. He's 7. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
he can do that. But so that's something to think about. Just the protection and
Sure.
doing that. And that to me is the caring.
Right.
It's you're concerned about what could happen, what not, without being crazy.
Right.
Okay. And then the other one is just providing a lot of affection. And that's where I said about the love and affection to me is part of the caring.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a part that's actually missing with
think so?
a lot of dads.
Yeah.
And
They're not
I-
affectionate enough.
I do, and I think even for myself, because I notice times where I feel like I could have probably been more affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say even bedtime, where you're reading, whatever, and you say, "Okay, good night." You kiss them, and you're done.
Yeah.
Versus like kind of sitting in bed with them, kind of snuggling with them a little bit, holding them. And I'm not saying dads don't do this, but I think in general, men are probably less affectionate with their children. It's a stereotype, but I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
And the same thing about hugging them and kissing them. And we talked about how important touch was.
Sure, sure.
With the massaging or that
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't know why it is. I don't know if I can pinpoint, even for myself. But I do know that when I consciously make that effort to be more affectionate, it comes back like tenfold.
Wow, yeah.
My kids listen more.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, Dad, can you snuggle? Or whatever. And they want more. And it feels really good.
Sure,
It feels good that they want me to be there versus like, hey, where's Mom?
Yeah.
You're not the one I want.
Lady.
You're not the one I want to hug. I want Mom coming in. And both of my kids, I think, are they enjoy that.
Yeah.
They enjoy the touch, and so I've learned to be more affectionate with the children, which is funny because I think that then in turn becomes more affectionate in my relationship.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I think in general, probably my wife is more than I am.
Yeah.
But I think having the children, I feel like has made me more, and I think my wife would probably say the same thing.
Sure.
Where you become a little bit more comfortable with, even if it's public displays of affection or whatever. I don't even think about that for my kids.
Right.
Yet.
Yeah.
Although I have with my son, like as I'm going goodbye, at school. I don't want to embarrass him.
I know there's like that age where they go like, "Come on, Dad."
There was I think it was David Beckham was on like one of the talk shows at night, and he was talking about that. His sons are a little bit older, and he totally like gets a kick out of embarrassing them, like hugging them and kissing them, and whatever. And because they're getting like they're almost teenagers or whatever.
Yeah.
And just like he likes that, he just likes embarrassing. I mean, it's like I don't know that I would want to do that to my kid,
but there's probably a line you can cross that's kind of either funny,
like Dad, stop it. But the other thing too is, and this maybe I don't know if it's a debate, maybe a little bit of a debate, but is there such thing as too much affection?
Right.
I
Well, it's like spoiling kids.
So exactly. Have you ever heard someone like, you're gonna spoil that baby?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's spoil that baby, which is
that child.
Yeah, I've heard that. And
really?
I think people think that that they equate too much affection with spoiling them on some level, but it's like, well, I don't know. I think I'm on the fence with that because I'm pretty affectionate, and I grew up in an affectionate household in terms of like my family. But
it could be culture thing too.
But it could be culture. It could be just the way things are. But I could say that my grandfather was not as affectionate until we got older.
Generational.
Yeah, generation. So his generation. He's 94 now.
And there are cultures that don't. I think we talked about this on a previous one.
Yeah,
the cultures that just don't touch.
They're not affectionate.
I know a guy, and I won't say the type of culture or type of background, but. He said his wife, like, I don't even think, like, his parents have ever hugged or kissed their child.
Wow.
Or very rare. At least he's never seen it, and he's been married for 15 years.
No, I've had similar experiences. I've had exes that told me that they're in a different culture.
Yeah.
Just didn't do that.
Non-American.
No, yeah, generally, yeah.
So, I think it's, it could be generational, it could be culture, it could be a lot of things, but I don't think, I don't know. I don't think you can have too much affection for the child, so.
Sure.
So, I mean, this is, the purpose of this was really just to talk about these C's. I call them the C's and how important they are. Like I said, commitment is this first one where you have to commit to being an active parent and consciously thinking about it. Instead of just going through the motions and everything will be okay. And it's small things. You can see, and a lot of it's not big stuff. It's the small stuff. It's it's listening to your child. It's talking to them. It's giving them a hug. It's these little things that really can make a big difference in a kid's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the caring part, I think, is really good. So I had a quote to close this up. This episode's not as long, but it was by Mac and Barbara Bledsoe.
Also, team effort.
I think so. I'm guessing husband and wife, maybe?
Sure, hopefully.
You can fake like you care, but you can't fake being there.
I like it. It rhymes.
Yeah. They're poets and they don't even know it.
And they weren't even aware of it.
Yeah. So it's cool, though. I mean, the idea that, you can fake it, and a lot of people do. That even just being present and not really being active and conscious about what it is that you're trying to do. But you can't fake it, and kids will know, and they'll feel it, and they know it, and so that's why to me, caring was second on the list. It was sort of, the first thing is the committing.
Yep.
But to me, the caring is the most important C.
Yeah. The next step of that evolution.
And the love and affection, displaying kindness, just taking care of your child is
Yeah.
just those kind of things. So like I said, I think a lot of people sort of take that for granted as like, of course I do that. Of course I care for my child. But it is that act. It is different. And it's that act of parenting from the heart.
Right.
You know, that is really a big difference. So,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I want to hear people's comments, feedback, especially on the C's and, on the caring and the commitment and such. Hit us up at podcast@dudestodads.com. Facebook, we are at Dudes to Dads. And Twitter at Dudes to Dads.
Probably some other handles coming up in the near future.
I always forget what else we do.
Oh, the website, dudestodads.com.
The website, you can sign up for email newsletters and updates. And also make sure you review us on iTunes and Stitcher. You can give us a 5-star rating on iTunes.
Leave
and
a
we
comment.
move up the ranks. I was looking at the statistics the other day. August was our highest, of course, well, I hope so, because we've been around for a couple months. I mean, I don't even know. We like tripled our listeners.
Wow, from July to August.
From July to August.
Yeah, thanks.
So thank
Appreciate
you to
people.
everybody. Yeah, I mean, passing it along. I'm seeing retweets and
Getting
shares and all the other social stuff that these kids
nice
do these
positive
days.
feedback. Right, yeah.
These kids.
These kids these days.
Yeah, no, the feedback has been great. We always appreciate it. And, pass it along. If it's not you who needs this, pass it along to maybe somebody else that does. And it's funny. I'm starting, I think I said, to get unsolicited feedback where, in the beginning you tell people, hey, check this out. What do you think about it?
And they're like, oh,
yeah.
great.
So now we're starting to actually get people that are coming. I had a guy at school, a child at school, another at a social function.
That's awesome.
It's like, hey, I heard your podcast.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I was like, oh, I didn't even know you knew about it. So, I mean, that of course is locally here. That, but it's nice. Even some of the emails and some of the tweets that we're getting are nice. So keep that up. We appreciate it. That's why we're doing it. It's fun. It's helping us and it helps other people as well. So
Absolutely.
with that, it's another episode.
That's right.
I was going to try to do some other like Dr. Dre drop on that episode, but straight out of Compton was still hot and stuff. I'm trying to be hip.
Just right. It's not working.
Let me try it. Okay. Anyways, with that, we'll see you next time, and let's play that really funky music that
All right,
everyone
playing
loves.
it right now.